Okay, so first one, there are 6 sides on the die. Only one of them is a 5. Therefore, the probability of getting a 5 is 1 out of 6, not 1 out of 5. It doesn't have to do with which number. Probability of getting a 5 is the same as getting a 3, is the same as getting a 2. So the probability of getting 1 5 is 1 out of 6. Probability of getting another is also 1 out of 6. Therefore, the total probability is those multiplied together. 1 times 1 is 1. 6 times 6 is 36. So your overall probability is 1 case out of 36. Probability of rolling a 3, then rolling a 2. So it's going to be exactly the same. Reason being, probability of rolling a 3, it's only 1 out of the 6 options. Rolling a 2, again, is 1 out of the 6 options. So again, this is 1 out of 36, which is part of what I wanted you to recognize with those first 2 problems. Everything on a die is equally likely to roll. All right, let's go onward here. Probability of rolling an even number than an odd number. Okay, again, an even number, there are 3 even numbers, right? And 6 total numbers. So 3 out of 6, their even numbers are 2, 4, and 6. So that's half of them. That reduces to 1/2. Likewise with odd numbers, I have 3 out of 6 even, 3 out of 6 odd. So my overall probability is going to be 1/2 times 1/2, or 1/4. A quarter of the times you roll a dice twice in a row, you will first get an even, then get an odd number. Rolling 3 6s in a row. Okay, so 3 in a row now. We talked about this a lot of times. So it's going to be 1 6 times 1 6 times 1 6. 1 out of 6 chance each individual roll. So that's a total of 1 out of 216. Okay, let's keep going. Probability of rolling less than 5 twice in a row. Less than 5 twice in a row. Okay, so less than 5, that's 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that's 4 options out of 6 total. That can reduce to 2/3. So that's 2/3 twice in a row. So that's 2/3 times 2/3. And the total answer there is 2 times 2 is 4 over 3 times 3, which is 9. 4/9. Okay, probability of rolling a 1, then a 2, then a 3. Now, that's actually going to be precisely the same as this. Probability of rolling a 1 is 1 out of 6. Probability of, let me just go ahead and multiply them. Rolling a 2 is 1 out of 6, and rolling a 3 is also 1 out of 6. They're all 1 out of 6. Therefore, the overall is 1 out of 216. All right, let's keep going. All right, so the probability of, what does it say? The probability of spinning an A, then spinning an N. So we have 8 segments on the circle, each of which are evenly likely, but we will note that there are actually not just one, but there are 2 A's, A here and A here. So the probability of getting an A is 1/4. Everything else is going to be 1 out of 8. 1 out of 8. Therefore, the probability of doing an A and then an N is going to be 1/4 times 1 out of 8, which is equal to 1 out of 32. Probability of doing, basically spelling out CAR. C, again, is going to be 1 out of 8. A is going to be 1 out of 4. And finally, the R is going to be 1 out of 8. So it's going to be 1, all ones in the numerator. So it's going to be 1 out of 8 times 4 is 32. Then I have to do 32 times 8. Let's think. 32 times 8. That's like 64 times 4, 256. So it's 1 out of 256 for that particular combination. All right. What's next? Probability of a vowel, then R. So let's see. I have 3 vowels, A, and I. So it's going to be 3 out of 8 times the letter R is 1 out of 8. So this is going to be 3, 8 times 1 out of 8, which is going to be 1, 2, 3 cases out of 64 total possibilities. So that's it. That's how that one works. The first one where I had something other than a 1 in the denominator, but that's definitely a possibility, particularly when you have more than one option of something. It's not always going to reduce. Okay, we're almost done. Next one. Probability of spinning a letter that comes before M, then R. Well, I know that last one, the R, is going to be 1 out of 8. So all I need to do is figure out how many letters come before R, and it's going to be some number out of 8, and I'm going to multiply. So now let's go back up to the wheel, and we will count all the letters that come before M in the alphabet. Okay, so I'm just going to go through. I'm going to count everything in red. So I have 1 for M, 2, 3, 4, no, 5, 6. Okay, so I have 6 things that come before M in the alphabet. So 6 out of 8. Let me go back down here. And 6 out of 8, or I could also write that as 3/4. 6, okay. Still red, but that doesn't matter. I don't want to take the time to go back and fix that. Okay, so 6 out of 8, I could reduce and multiply, or multiply and reduce. That part doesn't matter. Let me just multiply. It's going to be 6 times 1 is 6. 8 times 8 is 64. Now these are both even numbers, so I can reduce it by dividing top and bottom by 2. So it's going to be 3 chances out of 32. And there we go. Remember, probability of compound events, you need to multiply the two independent probabilities. Thank you.